Yes, and welcome to Vasili's Garden, folks. It is tomato season and we're looking at big Malakas here. Well, there's one big one here and there's a lot of little big Malakas here. Now, these are coming on quite nicely, folks. These are available on the website. For those who want to get some, you can click and collect from Dandenong and take advantage because these are going to be beauties. Now, for those who don't know what a big Malaka is, well, that's a bad way to start that little conversation, but the tomato that is, I'm referring to the tomato being the size of the tomato, and it grows on average about 900 grams, but it can get up to 2 kilos, even higher or bigger, 2.5 kilos. So what I'm doing here now is just topping up the planting or the pot that they're growing in and staking them up because they, where we live, get blown around a little bit too much. So I'm just using a little bit of a stick here, a little green stick, and a plant tie. Now the plant tie that I'm using is from this tape gun here. This is a great little unit. This is the old model. We don't have this one here online, but we've got the new version, which is orange and black, and it's fantastic. Really nice and slick looking. Now, we've just sold out of them, so sorry for announcing that, but you can press on the little button that says here, notify me when in stock, because they're coming back in stock. Now, they're not only good for your tomatoes, they're good for your beans, your climbing plants, your trees, your roses, anything you like. So it's a real nifty little unit. You lock it in, it's almost like an elaborated stapler. You close it in like that, it clicks on, pulls out the tape. That's the tape there, it's non-sticky. It's like florist tape. Now you put that around, let's say you've got a stick and a branch together, that's a stake and a branch, my fingers represent that. Go around, press for the staple and voila, done. Now it is quite rigid. Now the thing about this, no, it's not compostable, it doesn't decompose, it doesn't break down, so you do need to remove them from the plant or the framework that you've got them on there and dispose of them correctly. But it's a very small amount of plastic for a big gain because you know what it's like to tie up tomatoes, folks. Sitting there with a bit of twine, wrapping it around figure eight and all things like that. Whereas, as you just saw me doing here with the big Malakas, now before we do that, let's finish off the topic of the big Malaka tomatoes. These are getting potted on, checking the root system, nice and strong, grown everywhere, and they are growing in our planting mix. This is our little planting mix we have in here. Here's a sample of it. I'll just put it there. Now you've seen this before because we did the potty mix trial there, folks, and this is the stuff that we did our trial, and our bricks count was fantastic. Super high, got compost, charcoal, manure in there, cocoa fibre, black grit, superfood, all the wonderful organic stuff that you need for your garden to grow big, strong and healthy. So stake up your tomato plants, even this small. Do not wait. Now, if I was going to say to you to plant them in the ground, I'd say to you plant them this deep, cover them all the way up to the top. But until that happens, because I'm not ready to put these in the ground, I'm going to wait a few more days, maybe a week or two. And I suppose cup day's only around the corner, so that's generally the consensus of everybody, planting time. So until then, what I'm doing is topping them up, and it does benefit them. You're probably asking how and why would you top them up on top when the roots are down below? Well, the thing about tomato plants is anywhere the trunk contacts the soil or is covered by soil, it will grow new roots. So they will have new roots developing along the stem of this plant here because I've just covered it over with soil, or in this case, our planting mix. And the tape gun, as you can see, real easy. And that's all you need to do. That'll stop it from swaying around in the high winds. Look at this one. Lying down on the job. Strong, healthy plant, but loose. And here, this is what I mean. See, the roots there are a little bit exposed. The top of the bottom of the stem there, just where the roots begin. So this needs to be topped up. So these were initially planted in shallow soil because you don't want too much soil in a small seedling because it can become boggy and the roots can start to decay away if you've got too much soil surrounding it because it can't absorb it. So we plant them in shallow bits of soil there, just enough to establish them, and you can see it's quite strong and healthy, irrespective of the shape of the stem because of the wind. And now it's big enough to stake up, and that's what I'm doing here, like that. Nice and strong, and top it up. If you've never tried the planting mix, folks, well, give it a go. I guarantee you, well, I'd like to say I can guarantee you, you're gonna love it. if you can get it, go to your local stockist. Now go to the stockist page, which is basically the planting mix page. It's available in bulk as well. You can get it in single bags, 10 bags, or even a big bulk bag, 500-600 kilos worth of the stuff. And people are snapping that up because they're loving it. So trial out a bag, get it into your garden, and it is so soft and fluffy. You're gonna be astounded at how good and big your plants grow. For example, Exhibit A, grown in planting mix. That is a cabbage leaf plant. These have been in the ground so long, they don't want to stop growing. That's huge. The head's there. I reckon this is going to be at least almost twice the size of a basketball by the time it finishes. And remember, cabbages need lots of water. And it's the wrong time of the year to be growing them, but they are growing. So top up your seedlings. If you haven't done so, transplant them into larger pots or straight into the ground if you like, if your microclimate in your garden is perfect for it. Otherwise, do what I'm doing, stake them up and give them a little bit more time before you pop them in so they get a bit stronger, and with this extra planting mix, they'll be growing more roots. And no insects or disease affected. One more. Have a look at this. These have been, in the ground a little bit early. I was worried I was going to lose them, but they have taken. So you can probably say I can plant the big Malakas, but compare these to your store-bought ones. Now, the store-bought ones, folks, we've always said it, they'll never grow as good as the ones you grow for yourself. And these are, guess what? They're store-bought. But what I've done with these is because they were so small, I planted them in early. Luckily, they didn't get hit by the frost. Otherwise, you put a little cloche over the top, but that's in the past now. But what I'm saying here is the same size as a store-bought will not have anywhere near as many leaves on it so closely spaced, or even shoots coming on. See all these laterals coming out? All these side shoots, they're going to be removed. You can just pinch them off like that. They're really soft and delicate and easy to remove. You don't have to do anything special with them. They just come off. Otherwise, you'll have multiple shoots coming up out of the one plant. It'll become a big shrub. And that's not what we want. Unless you do want that and you want to cover the whole plant, I'm going to grow 2 litres on that. So this is what is an example of a tomato growing in really healthy soil. It's not stretching, it's not discoloured, it's not diseased, it's not been attacked by insects. And yes, the pak choi has been attacked by snails and predominantly birds, but these are technically my little sacrificial plants because everything else is doing really well. Couple of little holes in the spinach, that's about it, but nothing to be worried about. They are really healthy, so look after your tomatoes. You don't wait all year to grow tomatoes and all of a sudden you forget to look after them. No good. The big Malakas are available online. There's only a limited amount available that we've released, folks, so take advantage if you want to grab some. We've got a few here in Lethbridge, but a hell of a lot at Dandenong North Outlet there, folks. So click and collect only. Pick up. We do not deliver seedlings by mail. Get that out of your head. It's not going to happen. And planting mix. Available at all leading garden centres that are stocking it. Vasili'sGarden.com. Everything online is discounted for your pleasure and your garden's benefit, so you can enjoy delicious produce that are high in nutrients. From me, Vasili, Maresi.